Good evening. My name is Kate Corder. I'm the Continuing Education Director here at Grayson, and I am so thankful and glad to see all of your faces tonight. To the families and the friends who have been here to support the students here, thank you so much. I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, and his name is Mr. Brett Graham. He is a fifth-generation Grayson County native. He's graduated from Baylor University. He actually lives here in Denison with his fabulous wife, Debbie. He has 3 children, Luke, who's just graduated from Baylor, Kristen, who is actually a sophomore at Baylor, and Dan, a sophomore at Pottsboro High School. Since 1993, Mr. Graham has overseen Graham International, a family business started by his father in 1965. Brett and Debbie also own and operate Graham Truck Centers here with 4 locations in North Texas and southern Oklahoma. Brett has always had community service in his heart, and it's been important to him. He has served on the boards of the Salvation Army, Sherman Chamber of Commerce, the Boy Scouts of America, Denison Development Foundation, First United Methodist Church, and the United Way of Grayson County. He has also served on the state board of the Texas Association of Business since 1998 and was the state chair in 2011. He recently has served on the Texoma Health Foundation and for the past 3 years has served as chairman. He is currently on the boards for the Grayson Central Appraisal District, Ameristate Bank, and is an elected trustee of the Pottsboro Independent School District. And in 2016, he was appointed to the State Board of the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles by Governor Abbott and was most recently confirmed by the Senate for another 6 years. We are extremely excited to have Mr. Brett Graham here, and I am proud to welcome him as our guest speaker.
Thank you. Wow, thank you for those kind words. You can tell I'm a little ADD based on that, but I like to try to get in everything and every day that I can. Dr. Washburn, certainly our thoughts are with Dr. McMillan and his family as they deal with their loss. Board of Trustees, staff, students, family, it is my pleasure, really my privilege to be here with you today. It is a great day, and I know y'all are pretty darn excited. Like many of you, Grayson College played an important role in my education and my educational success, and I would argue that the work that y'all have done here at the college has made it a real community treasure. Well done. It is such an important part of our community. When Kate called and asked me to do this, my immediate thought was, oh my gosh, they're going to pull my file from when I was a student here, but apparently they still don't have the files from 1980 something. So apparently I'm all right. I was a spirited youth. I think we call that spirited these days. But really I enjoyed my time here, and it played such an important role in my educational process. Having owned several businesses here in North Texas as well as Mexico, over the past 25 years I was asked to share some things with you graduates tonight that might in some way be beneficial to you as you prepare for the next very exciting part of your life. I recognize that you come from a wide array of ages, and you've chosen a lot of different career paths and studies here at Grayson College, but hopefully I've picked a few things out that each of you can take with you that I've learned the past 25 years. First, create your own culture centered around a powerful work ethic. And if you do that, that ethic will become the norm. You know, the saying, you get what you work for, not what you wish for, still applies very much today. You know, be committed to whatever it is you're doing. I always told my kids as they were preparing to go to college and now move into the workforce, I said, it doesn't matter to me what you do. I don't care if you're a burger flipper, you know. Burger flipping's real important if you're the one that ordered the burger. But if you're the burger flipper, aspire to be the best burger flipper ever. That's almost a tongue twister. But really, if you take that philosophy and apply it to your everyday life and what you're doing, you'll be successful in what you do. And no matter what you do, make sure a strong work ethic is a part of that. You don't need a fancy degree or a 4.0 GPA to change the world, and it's been demonstrated over and over and over. President George W. Bush once said, "To those of you who received honors, awards, and distinctions, I say well done. And to the C students, I say you too can be President of the United States." I think that just says a lot for those of us that maybe weren't 4.0s, and it is so true. The concept that we have today in this country that you have to go to a big fancy college and write big checks to be successful is absolutely flawed. There are incredible careers out there for plumbers and welders and electricians and industrial maintenance technicians. I might argue it's easier to hire an attorney than it is to hire a plumber, so you tell me which one's in more demand. At my businesses, I employ diesel technicians. There's so much demand for them, it's unbelievable. And some of my guys are now, some of my technicians are making over $40 an hour fixing trucks. So there are amazing vocational careers out there. And, you know, the second fastest growing job market in the country is healthcare. And if I'm not mistaken, we have a bunch of folks here that have selected that as their career. So y'all have made some really good decisions, and you can be successful and change the world. Never doubt that for a second. Live your life with purpose and always have goals for which you strive. Goals should be the targets which you point your life and create a roadmap for success. Strong goals will also help fuel your ambitions and provide the inspiration necessary for you to do what you never thought possible. But make sure you don't forget about the journey. So often we get focused on where we're trying to get to in life, and I've been guilty of that myself. But never fail to remember to live each day on that journey. It's just as important as getting there. It's good to have an end to the journey toward, but it's the journey that matters in the end. Try to find a career you love. Keep looking until you find it and don't settle, and I promise you, when you find it, you'll know it. Most people go to work because it's work, not because it's their passion. One person, and what I've found in my career is one person with passion is better than 20 people who just really don't want to be there. Now, understand you have to be reasonable. If your passion is basketball and you're 5'6", you probably need to be realistic that you're not going to play in the NBA unless, as I was corrected earlier, you're the next Spud Webb. And if you're the next Spud Webb, then rock on, but just be realistic. I mean, you know, and I understand now there's two. There may be another one. So it can be done. But generally speaking, if you're passionate about the work that you're doing, you'll get up every morning, your feet will hit the ground, and you'll be excited about the day. And if you do that, your life will have purpose and be so rewarding. Now here's a big one. Don't fight change. In fact, embrace it. You know, by nature, we resist change. We tend to like a stable environment where we have some consistency. But the problem is, especially in the worlds in which you're about to step into, if you wait until you have to change, you're in a crisis. But if you get ahead of change, it can be extremely empowering. Change can make us nervous, but it's better to be nervous than to disappear. And to prove that point, I was going to ask a question and have everybody raise their hands, but honestly, I can't see many out there. But what I was going to ask you is, who has a BlackBerry telephone in your pocket today? And does anybody up here? No BlackBerries. I kind of figured that would be the case. Think about this. In 2007, Apple and BlackBerry, the companies, had the same value. That was 12 years ago. Today, Apple is worth $825 billion and BlackBerry is worth $5 billion. And if anybody can tell me how BlackBerry is worth $5 billion, please tell me afterwards. But I think the point is somebody changed and somebody didn't, and you see what the result was. We call this autocatalytic, which means that the rate of change is such that each and every change accelerates the next change coming down the pipeline. And what's kind of scary but exciting about that at the same time is that today the rate of change is predicted to be the slowest it will ever be in our lives. And I don't know about you, but it feels like my world's changing pretty quickly. Here's some examples that I thought were kind of interesting. Well, the first one is, when's the last time you bought a vinyl record to listen to music? Well, I know some of us in here have bought vinyl records. Now it's entirely digital. In the early days of Amazon, can you believe that Amazon only sold books? That's how they started. But Amazon changed. Amazon now has anticipatory shipping where they anticipate what you're going to want based on the time your cursor hovers over something on a web page. You can get a device with a button on it, and this is super cool. You get this little device, got a button on it. One of them is for Tide. You use it to wash your clothes. You stick that on your washing machine. When you use your last scoop, you press the button, and in some markets, 2 hours later, your Tide's sitting at your door. That's pretty innovative, and that's changed. And in some major markets, Amazon is actually putting lockers on the street so that you don't have to wait until you get home to get the stuff you want. It's all about speed and convenience. Starbucks has an app that will let you now order your coffee before you get there. At a huge event each year in Austin called South by Southwest, I don't know how many years they've done it, quite a few now. This year, for the very first time, this takes the city by storm. I mean, tens of thousands of people go there. This year, for the first time, Airbnb booked more rooms than all of the hotels combined. Who even knew what Airbnb was 4 years ago? I didn't. That company is now valued at $38 billion and last year surpassed Hilton in total revenue. Hilton, and what's even more amazing about that is Airbnb has 12,000 employees while Hilton has 169,000. Change moves fast. Tic Tacs. Tic Tacs are timeless. But now you can get a Tic Tac that will change flavors halfway through mid-suck because apparently we can't concentrate long enough on one Tic Tac. But Tic Tac identified a need and they changed. That's pretty good. In the last 4 weeks, there were more than 50,000 apps designed for iPhones. Last 4 weeks, 50,000 apps. And one of them, and I am not kidding you, if you don't believe me, when you get home, you look this up. Just go onto the website. It's called runp.com. I know, y'all know I didn't have this when I sent you this version. Runp.com is an app that recommends to you at what point when you're watching a movie at the movie cinema is the best time to get up and use the bathroom. That's change. That's innovation, I promise you. So, okay, I've got a bunch more, but the fact is if you're standing still, or even if you're moving, but you're moving too slowly, you're getting behind. You just can't maintain your position. Obviously, the good news is the folks right here that are graduating tonight, they already know this. They've recognized that. You are here tonight changing your life. You've already made those decisions, but whatever you do, embrace change and don't be afraid to think outside the box. I've got one more I'm going to touch on, and I know I may be running over my time, but challenge yourself and never be afraid to fail. Push yourself, get out of your comfort zone, and conquer your fears. Tonight I'm going to share something with you that's probably going to, I know some folks out here in the audience and up here on the stage, and this is probably going to come as a surprise, and it's the first time I've really talked about it publicly. But I have a horrendous fear of public speaking, and I am not kidding. I had no idea about this until about 20 years ago when I was serving as the campaign chair of the United Way, and I was asked to speak to a group at Walmart in Sherman, 30 people working at Walmart. And I marched right in there and I've got my game plan. And really the next thing I remember was everything kind of went white. And then I was standing in the parking lot. And to this day, I still have no idea what happened in that room. Although I'm pretty sure 30 people in Sherman think I am absolutely crazy. To this day, I still have that fear and that anxiety. I despise it. I don't understand it. I don't like it. It doesn't, and I don't know when it's going to come when I'm speaking. But I made a conscious decision 20 years ago that I wasn't going to let it beat me, and I wasn't going to let it define who I am. So over the past 20 years, I've continued to challenge myself to speak to larger and larger groups. An example of why I think this is so important is that 10 years ago, I was asked to be state chair for the Texas Association of Business in Austin, which represents more businesses in Texas than any other association. I almost didn't do it, despite the fact it gave me an opportunity to make a difference not only in my community, but my state, for one reason. Because I knew at the end I'd have to get up and speak in front of 2,500 people, give a speech about the then Governor Rick Perry, about his policies, and introduce him. I almost didn't do it for that reason, and I overcame it, and I did it. And one other instance that when I talked about, I almost passed out, I was asked to give a speech in front of news cameras and media people to launch the campaign of our now U.S. Senator John Cornyn. And when those cameras started clicking, I felt it coming, but I made my way out of it. Now I've done my first commencement. Why do I tell you this? Why did I go through that long story? Why did I do that to myself? I've asked myself that many times. But I know the answer, and it's because I am determined to not let that fear define who I am. So whatever your fear is, and make no mistake about it, everybody in this room, we have our fears, and you're no different. Whatever your fears, challenge it. Take it head on. Don't let it define you, and don't let it define your future. Each of you are here tonight because you took a very important step to improve your life. You made an important step to improve the lives of your family and everyone around you. You should be very, very proud of that. While each of these degrees, programs, certifications, whatever it is that you've earned, those are very important steps for the rest of your life that will help you be successful. But don't ever forget, the one thing that's even more important is that desire that got you here. That desire to be better, to improve, that is what's going to help you be successful in life. Don't ever lose it. So in summary, create change. Create your own culture centered around a powerful work ethic. Live your life with purpose. Find what you love. Embrace change. And don't let fear define you or your future. I promise you, I'm so proud of each of y'all for what you've accomplished. I know that these folks up here are proud of you too. Your community and your family is very proud of you. So graduates, well done. Thank you.